Hey everyone, welcome. Get comfortable, and let's get into tonight's Reddit stories. Imagine finally landing your dream job after years of sacrificing your social life. And then your parents tell you that you have to give it all up to be a full-time caregiver again. What are you supposed to do when family duty slams straight into the future you've worked so hard for? Am I the asshole for refusing to leave my job so I could take care of my disabled brother? I'm a 22-year-old woman, just out of college with a marketing degree. My younger brother Alex is 19 and has Down syndrome. He's verbal, funny, obsessed with superheroes and puzzles, but he needs help with daily routines, social stuff, and his meds for a heart condition, plus supervision so he doesn't act on impulsive behaviors. He goes to a day program for young adults with disabilities and lives at home. My mom is 48 and my dad is 50. Both work. My mom works part-time in retail, my dad works in logistics. Starting in middle school, I basically became Alex's main helper. I did after-school pickups, homework, meds, meltdowns, sometimes even bedtime stories. My older sister, she's 25, moved out early and was rarely asked to help with him. She's busy with her career. I skipped clubs, parties, even frats because Alex trusts you most, he calms down faster with you, sad face. That's what my parents would always say. I still graduated on time and landed my dream entry-level job at a high-end tech firm. It starts next month, pays $65,000 a year. Great benefits. My parents congratulated me. Until Alex's day program cut their hours because of funding issues. There's a long wait list for other programs, and private aides are $35 an hour or more. My parents say they can't afford it, even though they absolutely can. So, at a family lunch last week, they cornered me. They told me Alex's program is ending soon, and they need me to quit my job and stay home to watch him during the day because I'm the only one he truly listens to. It's just temporary. It's family duty. You need to take care of your brother. I was stunned. This job is my foot in the door. If I defer, I lose it. Then I'd have to start applications all over again. Maybe even move somewhere else. I've waited years for this independence. I've taken care of my brother for a long time, and this job finally felt like I could live my own life again. They brushed that off. Jobs come and go. Alex didn't choose this. You've always been amazing with him. We can't risk a stranger messing up his routine. And so on. I asked why my sister couldn't help, or why they couldn't adjust their shifts or use their savings. My mom started tearing up and said, "She's got her own life now. We've given up so much. It's your turn to step up for your brother." Even though I was already the one fully taking care of him. I told them no. I've already signed the offer, bought work clothes, and planned my commute. This is my future, and I don't want to miss it. My dad got mad and said, "So you're picking a paycheck over your disabled brother's well-being? What kind of sister are you?" That night, I packed my things and moved in with a friend because it got really intense. My parents told the rest of the family that I'm ditching Alex for some fancy job. Now relatives are calling me selfish, saying, "A few months won't ruin your career, but lack of care could devastate him." I genuinely love my brother. He has disabilities, but he's the kindest brother anyone could wish for. I really care about him, but I feel like I've done everything I possibly could to be there for him. Please be honest. Am I the asshole? Reddit was overwhelmingly on the original poster's side. One of the top comments started off by calling the post a wall of text, but then went straight to the point. OP is not obligated to be her brother's free, full-time caretaker. The commenter said we only get one life, and she needs to live hers. She can still love her brother and spend time with him, but her own future has to come first. They pointed out that her parents are calling her selfish because they're used to dumping responsibility on her and having her quietly accept it. And they added that if Alex could really weigh in, he'd probably want his sister to be happy and stable, which means taking the job. Another highly upvoted comment called this what it is: parentification. They described it as a form of abuse and said what her parents are asking is unreasonable. Instead of sacrificing her career, they congratulated her on the new job and basically said she should go for it without feeling guilty. A third top comment flipped the parents' argument back on them. The dad accused OP of choosing a paycheck over her brother, but this commenter pointed out that, by that same logic, OP's mom is also choosing a paycheck over her son by continuing to work instead of staying home herself. They also warned that this temporary setup would almost definitely turn into something permanent. In their view, if OP agreed even for a short time, there would always be one more reason she had to stay, until she ended up being her brother's lifelong caregiver. What do you think? Is OP right to draw the line and start her own life? Or do you think family responsibility should come first here? Drop your verdict in the comments below, and if you've ever been stuck in a similar family duty versus future situation, share your story. Imagine finding out that the surprise birthday party your family planned for you was actually just a setup to reunite you with the ex you never want to see again. Do you show up and suffer through it, or disappear and let the whole thing fall apart without you? That's exactly the choice this birthday girl had to make. Am I the asshole for skipping my own surprise birthday party once I found out it wasn't really for me? I've never been big on birthdays. It's not that I hate them. I just like keeping things low-key. Dinner with my closest friends, maybe a movie, something small and chill. Everyone close to me knows this, especially my sister. Let's call her Maya, who absolutely loves big gestures. In her mind, every birthday or achievement needs balloons, a theme, and a full production. About 2 weeks before my birthday, Maya started acting weird. She kept asking if I'd be free that Saturday and got all cagey whenever I asked her why. I started to suspect she was planning something, so I reminded her again that I didn't want a party. She just laughed it off and said that as usual, I was being no fun. A couple nights ago, the night before my birthday, one of our mutual friends accidentally let it slip that there was going to be a party. She mentioned what she was planning to wear. That's how I found out the whole family had been invited and it was going to be at our parents' house. Some of my coworkers were invited too. But here's the kicker. My ex was invited. My fucking ex. For some context, my ex and I broke up about 2 months ago. It ended pretty badly. There wasn't any abuse or cheating, but it definitely wasn't a nice breakup. I've made it very clear to everyone in my life that I want no contact. Maya knows this. But she's told me multiple times that I should just get over it because he's a nice guy and he's been part of all our lives for years. The first thing I did was call Maya and demand answers. She didn't even try to deny it. She said this would finally give us a chance to talk it all out. She admitted that she hadn't just thrown this party for my birthday, but also so everyone could see my ex again and so we could fix things between us. She literally told me I'd thank her later. I was furious. I told her she had no right, that I would have been ambushed into this situation on my own birthday. And this was after I had specifically said I didn't want a party at all. She just called me dramatic and bloody ungrateful, saying she had this whole thing planned because I wouldn't find better and that it was a good gift. She pointed out that everyone had bought gifts and traveled, and that everyone was excited. So yesterday, on my birthday, I just turned my phone completely off. I didn't tell anyone where I was going except my best friend. The two of us went out for lunch and then went on a walk together. I actually ended up having a great day. When I finally got home and turned my phone back on, it was chaos. Maya was fuming. People were disappointed. Some even said I had embarrassed Maya. Now Maya is basically saying that I ruined the whole party and made it all about me, even though it was literally my birthday. She says she did it from a good place in her heart, and that I should at least apologize for not showing up and not letting people know. So, am I the asshole? The top commenter says the sister's behavior is such a red flag that they wouldn't be surprised if Maya and the ex end up dating, because she seems way too invested in keeping him around. Another highly upvoted take points out the irony in Maya's accusation. They say that technically, Maya was right that OP made it about herself, because before OP bailed, it was all about Maya. Her big party, her big reconciliation plan, her chance to play hero. In their view, Maya didn't plan this out of love for OP, but out of a good place in her heart for herself. And another commenter says OP didn't actually skip her birthday. She chose to enjoy it. They argue that a surprise party that ignores your clearly stated wishes and includes someone you're actively avoiding isn't a gift at all. It's a setup, and OP was right to walk away from it. What do you think? Was OP wrong for disappearing on the surprise party and leaving everyone hanging? Or was she justified in refusing to be ambushed with her ex on her own birthday? Let me know your verdict in the comments. Am I the asshole or not? And what would you have done in her place? Imagine your own mom calling you useless, and then your whole life slowly changing once you finally step back. 2 years later, this OP comes back with an update. She's got a new home, a new support system, and she's hit a huge milestone she never thought she'd reach. But things at her mom's house didn't stay the same either. And that's where it gets complicated. Update? Am I the asshole? Mom called me useless, so I stopped helping. Hi again, Reddit. I posted about this around 2 years ago and wanted to give you all an update. The link to the original post is here. Thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. The kindness and all the different viewpoints from strangers on the internet helped me way more than I ever expected. After I stopped helping out around the house, I reached out to my university's student support services for advice. They helped me get a part-time job at the student help desk, which gave me a bit of financial breathing room. Around the same time, I broke up with my boyfriend. Meanwhile, my older brothers, who are now 25 and 24, still did nothing to help. I went back to driving my younger siblings, now a 17-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy, to school. Not because I gave in, but because I genuinely care about their futures. The breaking point was when my mom tried to drag her younger sister Sarah into it by painting me as this disrespectful daughter. I had no idea how Sarah would react, since she and my mom have always been close. But I ended up telling Sarah the truth. To my surprise, Sarah was horrified. She told me that she and my mom were treated pretty much the same way by my grandparents. And when they moved to Australia together, they promised each other they wouldn't raise their kids like that. Sarah offered to take me and my 2 younger siblings in since she doesn't have kids of her own. Now I live with Sarah. It's about an hour's drive to uni, but the peace is worth it. One of the best things I've done for myself is starting therapy. It's expensive, so I can only afford 1 session a month, but it's already doing wonders. As for my little siblings, they're doing better. They keep their rooms tidy, they help with cooking, and they're both incredibly respectful to Sarah. My brother isn't relying on my sister anymore, and my sister is finally starting to stand up for herself. I've been reminding her not to let anyone, especially our mom, push her around the way I was. My siblings changed schools to one that's within walking distance, and they haven't missed any days. Recently, my brother, who was 17 then and is 19 now, reached out to me and apologized for everything. He said he knew the way I was being treated was wrong, but at the time it didn't affect him, so he didn't think about it too much. We had a proper conversation over the phone, and things seem okay between us now. He told me he was planning on moving out to live with a friend because our mother had started lashing out at him and forcing him to do all the house chores I used to do. As for me, I graduated uni. Sarah and my younger siblings came to my ceremony. I didn't bother messaging my mom to let her know. I've already been accepted into a graduate RN program at the hospital where I did my last placement. I'm super excited to start and finally get my life on track. For the first time, I feel like my life is actually moving in a direction I chose. Top commenters were overwhelmingly happy to see how things turned out for OP and her younger siblings. A lot of people said they were genuinely glad she got out of that situation and found a safe, supportive home, and that her siblings seemed to be thriving too. Several comments congratulated her on graduating and getting into the RN program, pointing out that she took a really bad situation, refused to let it define her, and built a future that actually matches her potential. They praised her for getting help from student services, starting therapy, and taking control of her life. One commenter did bring up her older brother's apology, though. They noticed he only reached out after he started getting treated the same way she had been, even though he admitted he knew it was wrong before. In their view, a verbal apology is a start, but not really enough on its own. They felt he should back it up with actions and do something genuinely kind or supportive to show he truly understands and is sorry. What do you think about this update? How do you feel about a family member stepping in, the brother's late apology, and OP choosing not to tell her mom about graduation? If you were in OP's shoes, would you keep the door open to a relationship with your mom, or leave things as they are? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Reddit tales. You hop in the shower after a long day, shampoo in your hair, finally starting to relax. And then your partner bursts in and demands you get out. Right now. Because they have a bathroom emergency. Do you step out dripping wet or tell them to hold it? Am I the asshole? My boyfriend kicked me out of the shower to poop. I got home from work today and told my boyfriend I was going to take a quick shower. As soon as I get shampoo in my hair, he comes into the bathroom and goes, "I'm so sorry, but you have to leave right now. I gotta go." I'm like, dude, no. I'll just close the shower curtain and you can go." And he comes back with, "Are you serious? You gotta get out." So I'm like, dude, are you seriously asking me to get out of the shower right now? For some background, we've lived together for over 2 years, and we're pretty comfortable with each other, but definitely not to the point of pooping in front of each other. He has IBS, so when he's gotta go, he's gotta go. We also live in a really cold place that's heated with a wood stove, and I hadn't gotten the fire going yet, so I'm just standing there freezing, dripping wet, with shampoo in my hair outside the bathroom waiting for him to shit. This is obviously not that big of a deal, but like, am I crazy for thinking it's a wild ask to make your partner leave mid-shower so you can take a dump? The top commenter says they personally wouldn't want to be in the shower while someone is actively pooping in the same room. For them, that would be a hard no, even if the timing is terrible. Another highly upvoted comment goes with, "No assholes here." They explain that even after 20 years of marriage, they and their partner still give each other privacy to poop, and having more than one bathroom really helps. They point out that IBS makes everything more urgent and more unpleasant. The smell, the sound, and the embarrassment. In their view, this was just awful timing. Their suggestion, if it happens again, OP should rinse the shampoo out as fast as possible and get out. Because while it's a big inconvenience for her, he's dealing with a genuine emergency. A third top comment also says, "No assholes here." They emphasize that IBS emergencies are very real, and when someone with IBS says they have to go, they usually mean immediately. But they also acknowledge that asking someone to step out of a hot shower, soaking wet into a freezing house is pretty rough and understandably frustrating. To them, this isn't really about anyone being an asshole. It's about bad timing and the lack of a backup bathroom plan. They suggest that long-term, the couple might want to figure out some kind of system for these emergencies so no one ends up shampoo-covered and freezing again. What do you think? Should OP have stepped out without arguing because it was a medical emergency? Or was her boyfriend out of line for kicking her out mid-shower into a freezing house? Tell me your verdict in the comments, and if you've ever had a bathroom emergency clash like this, I want to hear those stories too.